Hey, what's up, guys? Tukey here, back again with another episode of my Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode series right here on NHL 19. And today, well, these bunch of jerks face one hell of a challenge as we take on the New Jersey Devils, who, of course, are led by Jack Hughes and Taylor Hall. In case you need a reminder of how good they happen to be in the regular season, there is your reminder. Jack Hughes scored more goals than our leading scorer had points. So yeah, this could be fairly interesting. The most points and the most goals I have seen all year long by far, unless of course you cheese it and put one person on all four lines. But yeah, Jack Hughes, an absolute monster, took 465 shots. It's like a goddamn Hey Arnold episode. Instead of pass the ball to Tucker, it's pass the puck to Jack, apparently. Good Lord. That said, things went very well for us in the first round. We'll talk about the Devils more in a minute. We swept the floor with the New York Islanders. An absolutely dominant series, which was unexpected. Again, we walked into the playoffs, not exactly in the finest form, but my God, was that a statement victory. And the Charlotte Checkers as well are in the postseason. We'll be following along with their journey, at least here and there. They managed to eliminate the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs. You would have seen there Cody Berard with 5 points in 4 games. Now, it's not perfect for us. We do have an injury on the back end, of course. Bowen Byram is hurt. He'll be back soon, though. But this is the team that got the job done against the Islanders, and it is how the team will remain, especially Jake Bean. If he can keep that up, 5 points in 4 games, a +5 as well, things will be looking pretty good. And I think the story of the first round was Spencer Knight doing what we've been desperate for him to do, and that is play like an elite goaltender. Again, he was vying for the Vezina, arguably would have won it had we not seen a glitched goaltender in this past season. So we already know the Devils, they have the 2 best players in the league. They won 57 games. But let's take a look at what the rest of their squad looks like, shall we? Are they a one-line team? But what a line it is, and the answer is no. My God, what a team. Taylor Hall, 7 points in the first round. Jack Hughes had 6 goals. Oh my God. What do you even say to that? Look at that, man. Look at that. He has done nothing but have his goal scoring total go up since he joined the league. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And oh yeah, Braden Point ended up going to New Jersey as well. 6 points in 4 games. That top line is just disgusting. And to be honest, that second line, I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. Jesper Bratt, 87 overall, point-a-game player in the first round. Center by 94 overall, Nico Hischier, 5 points in the first round. And Kyle Palmieri was a point-a-game player as well. I know you guys are going to ask. So Palmieri's making 5.8. Hischier's making 9.2. 4.7 for Bratt. Almost $11 million for Braden Point. 8.3 for Hughes. And Taylor Hall's on an expiring contract. I don't even want Taylor Hall, but I'm almost tempted to say, maybe we should try to sign him just to get him the hell away from New Jersey. We go to the third line, Joey Anderson next to Andy Young, who was a 6th-round pick of the Devils back in 2022, next to Evan Springus, who was a 2nd-round pick of the Devils, both of them low elite. Not much from that third line in the first round. We go to the fourth line, Vladislav Kara, who I don't think is real, but he might be. He had 3 points in 4 games. Jesper Boqvist, of course, former 2nd-round pick, and Mackenzie Entwistle also there. So yeah, that team speaks for itself. And they're not bad defensively. Good God. They have Slavin, which is, that kind of hurts, a +8 in the first round. Jack Tamura, 7th-round steals. And New Jersey's done so well in drafting as well as adding free agents. Will Butcher, up to an 85, next to Damon Severson. And we have Julius Bergman and Steven Santini on that third pairing. In terms of the money totals there, 1.8 Severson's at 4.7, 4.4 for Butcher, 4.1 for Tamora, and 4.7 for Slavin. The goaltender is Mackenzie Blackwood, who is on a $6.8 million deal. 85 overall, had a .961 save percentage in the first round. It's not the greatest threat we've ever faced in goal, but it kind of speaks for themselves. And, I mean, yeah, they have an injury as well, forward-wise. Mike McLeod currently hurt. He'll be looking for a big-time pay increase. Ty Smith and David Ferentz, the healthy scratches. We should probably see how long McLeod's out for, because that could be a pretty big factor in this series as the menu lag kicks in. Gotta love it. So Byram's out until the end of the month. And with New Jersey, the Jersey, May 2nd for McLeod. So he and Mo and Byram will both factor into this series if it goes into the later stages, because Byram might miss Game 4. But if it's an early, a quick series, a quick ending to this series, it could be problematic. And let's be honest, if there is a quick end of the series, I think there's a team that's probably a little bit more favored to be on the better end of that than the other. As you get a look, they have us beat on paper, everywhere except goaltending. But we'll see what we can do. Game 1 of round 2 against the Jack Hughes-led New Jersey Devils. You might as well say Jack Hughes and a couple of other guys. Let's see what happens. Can we keep up this ridiculous pace that we set in terms of goal scoring in the first round? First period, it's a goal apiece. Owen Power gets on the board, and so does Jack Hughes. You cannot stop him. We go to the second period where it's scoreless. Two high-powered offenses, but only a goal apiece. Again, a defenseman of ours, which is a rarity, and Jack Hughes. We go to the third. Let's see what happens. Power play for the Canes, but it goes to waste. We need something else. It's Kara for New Jersey, giving them the lead. I mean, Knight's done well, but can the offense get to Blackwood here? Under 5 minutes remaining, the Devils are going to hand us our first loss of the postseason or not. Alex Turcotte, please win it in regulation. Oh my God, that would have been amazing. Alex Turcotte has tied this game with 1:15 remaining in regulation. You'll love to see it. We are tied at 2. We are going to overtime in this first game. And it is anybody's game at this point. I don't know if there is a favorite. I mean, if we win it, I'm hoping for anybody. If they win it, it's going to be Jack Hughes. So let's see what happens. Overtime here in Game 1. Power play for the Canes goes to waste. A brutal mistake. New Jersey on the power play. That is also killed off. Power play 5-on-3 for the Canes. Come on, please, please. How did we not score? We're going to lose. Oh, we're going to lose. You can't let a 5-on-3 go to waste. We hit 50 shots, and Simon Robertson wins it. It took 53 shots. Somehow, I think that's the first time I have ever seen a team have a 5-on-3 power play in overtime of a playoff game and still win the game. You always lose when that happens, or at least I do, but apparently not today. 53 shots to 38, 3-2 on the board. The Hurricanes come back to steal Game 1. A 3-point game for Robertson and a game-winning goal. Spencer Knight, the second star, and the Hurricanes still undefeated. That sucks. Jake Bean goes down to a rib injury, and our top scoring defenseman is hurt. And we're going to have to call somebody up from the AHL squad, and I don't know who it's going to be. But that is a massive loss, as we're now without Bean and Byram. And it's looking like it might be Ma. I mean, Vahalati's hurt. I kind of want someone with a little bit of an offensive ability. Quentin Cons. I think he can't skate worth a damn. But I think it's got to be Quentin Cons. It's either him or Garrett DeLuca. You know, we're going to go for DeLuca. He's a little bit more well-rounded, I think. I'm just worried about Cons. Like, he can't skate, but he might be able to put up points. We're going to go with a little bit... You know, let's go for it. Quentin Cons. Quentin Cons will outright replace Jake Bean. Screw it. What's the worst that could happen? Let's be honest, none of those defensemen are necessarily ideal for depth options, but that's because our depth option is already, our depth option's already in the lineup. Will Borgen and Quentin Cons. So let's go ahead and just make that little change right there for now. And then down in the AHL, we'll go best lines again. And just hope that that team can find a way to win now that they're in the postseason. So, actually, hell, they're going to the round 2, the second round, where we already are with the Hurricanes. So this is going to be interesting. No Bean, no Byram on the back end. Can our hurting defense survive the offensive onslaught from New Jersey? First period of game 2. Oh, no. Kara Whitfield ties it within a minute. 59 seconds later, to be exact. Jack Hughes restores the lead. Nico Hischier scores again. It is 3-1 for the Devils, despite the fact that we outshot them 19-13. That is rough. Second period, can we get back into it? It's a goal apiece. Nico Hischier made it 4. Dylan Peterson brings it back to within 2. But the Devils have the lead. It has not exactly been the performance from Spencer Knight that we have needed. He did so well in game 1 to keep us in it. But unfortunately, as Trevor Zegras brings it to within 1, we have a power play chance here too. Can we take advantage? It's like a 17-minute power play. Come on, man. As we're halfway through the third period, it's within 1. Kara scores again. Who is this guy? It's 5-3. That will do it. And again, just not the performance that we needed out of Spencer Knight. He did so well in game 1, but it just wasn't there in game 2. New Jersey ties this series up. They hand us our first loss of the playoffs in the process, despite the fact that we had 21 more shots on the board. A great effort from Mackenzie Blackwood, Nico Hischier, and Kara. 2 goals apiece, leading the way. I think the big factor there, despite the fact that Trevor Zegras scored, and I do want to take a look here, would have been that missed opportunity on the power play. Cons did have a minus in that game, but it's not as if he was the sole reason as to why we lost. But at the start of the third period, back-to-back minors, Tamora and Hall, and we just couldn't take advantage of it. And this series is tied. At the very least, though, we took a game on the road to begin this series. Owen Power is hurt. My God. That is the 3rd defenseman out of our lineup who has been injured. And he'll be out until, what, the middle of May, was it? I mean, this is just a tragedy at this point. The amount of injuries. It's going to be Ma that gets called up, but oh my God. I mean, the injuries, again, we've adjusted the slider throughout the series, but we've yet to see anything like this. I mean, we're relying on now 3 AHL defensemen to try and make something work here for us. As brutal as that is, I mean, Riley and Hamilton have worked relatively well together. I think we have no choice but to split them up. I think we have no choice. It has to be Riley, Hamilton, and Middlestat. So I'm going to play Cons with Middlestat. We'll play Borgen with Riley and Ma with Hamilton, just to try and spread the wealth a little bit and to at least have 1 NHL caliber defenseman on each line. We are desperate to do so. And I'm shocked in a way that the AHL team doesn't have to run a forward on defense yet, but there is some level of depth there with AHL-only contracts. So we go to Game 3 as the Checkers get ready for that second round. I'll be intrigued to see what happens with them, considering their team has been heavily affected by these injuries as well. It is a huge moment. Game 3 of this series. Can we survive despite the injuries on defense? We need a better performance all around, but especially from Spencer Knight if we're going to win this one. First period is scoreless. 12 shots to 9 in our favors. We continue to outshoot them, but nothing doing offensively there. Second period, also scoreless. Not what I would have predicted. 26 shots to 17. There is yet to be a goal scored despite these 2 high-powered offenses to the point where the first goal in this game may just win it, and we have to hope that's not the case. Jack Hughes scores, Alex Turcotte ties it 2 minutes later. New Jersey on the power play as we go over the halfway point. It's unsuccessful. The next goal is going to win this game, but are we going to overtime? That's the question. We are. Hughes and Turcotte with the goals. We go to overtime, tied at 1. I don't know. Nathan MacKinnon or Jack Hughes for the Toogies overtime prediction challenge. Let's see what happens. The winner of Game 3 of the second round matchup between the Devils and the Hurricanes is going to be decided in double overtime at this rate. Power play for the Canes? No, that's never a good sign. 5 minutes left. Is it double overtime? It's looking like it. And it is. Yes, there you go. It is. They have caught up in shots. They dominated the back half of the game, but we're still in it. You know how this works. Don't blink. You might miss it. This is nearly guaranteed to end within 5 seconds at the most. Here we go. The winner of Game 3 in double overtime, your Carolina Hurricanes. Morgan Rielly on the power play. And the Hurricanes win it 2-1 and take a 2-1 series lead in the process. Spencer Knight, much better. Much better. Not looking like the Spencer Knight of old like he did in Game 2. He dominates to keep us in it. Blackwood with a great game as well. But Morgan Rielly, of all people who has struggled at times, is able to get the job done. The leader of the defense steps up when our defense has been obliterated due to injury. And we get the big-time victory to take the lead in the series. Quentin Cons, you're welcome for the call-up. I'm going to go with the yellow option because screw it. It's not worth the negative reaction. We go to Game 4. The lineup stays the same, still with the decimated defense. Let's see what we can do here. Will we have a chance to end this series back in New Jersey for Game 5? Or will that be the first game of what will essentially be a best-of-3 series? First period, advantage New Jersey. Nico Hischier with the goal. They nearly doubled us up in shots. Second period, the advantage still in New Jersey's favor. Braden Point with the goal, his first, I think, of the postseason, as they again still nearly have us doubled up in shots, 30-18. We need a strong effort here, or again, it'll be essentially a best-of-3 as we go back to New Jersey for Game 5. And we need a goal quickly. Power play is the best way to do it, and it does not happen. Barring a miracle, the Devils are going to take Game 4. Nathan MacKinnon, though, with the goal, his first of the series, is their time. 2 minutes, 1 minute, 14 seconds. There is not enough time. MacKinnon ruins the shutout, but it's too little, too late. The Devils take Game 4 and tie this series. A great effort from Knight, but the scoring just wasn't there for us. It'll be Game 5 as we head into the month of May, and we have to hope that at the very least Bowen Byram's back. Thank God he is. That is very, 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 very good news for us that Bowen Byram is back in this lineup. He will replace Will Borgen, who I think is who initially replaced him. And then Ma will be replaced by Borgen. How has Cons done? He hasn't scored, so we'll replace Cons with Ma and send Quentin Cons back down to the Checkers to help out in their playoff efforts. Jake Bean is nearly back. Owen Power is still out. Of course, we're not going to play Bean unless he's 100%. No reason to risk further injury on that front. So we'll go best lines there. Look at the frickin' talent down in the AHL. That's unreal. I can't wait to see what this team's going to be next year, and we're not even done this year. We're going to Game 5 against the Devils. As far as the team is concerned, I'm a little bit concerned about the lack of goal scoring now amongst the top 6. But there's not too much we could do aside from just bumping down Whitfield. The third line, 4 points for Theo, 5 goals for Turcotte. Robertson there as well. I mean, we could bump down Trevor Zegras. He has 4 points. Theo with 4 points, 5 goals for Turcotte, and then the 8 for Robertson. And then, of course, the fourth line set in stone. I mean, Alto and Peterson have to be on the second line. I think we send down Zegras, and we bump up Robertson all the way to the top line and see what he can do. That'll be the way that we handle it. We'll see what Simon Robertson can do on that top line. Second line of Whitfield, Peterson, and Alto is deadly. And then Theo, Turcotte, and Trevor Zegras. I mean, Zegras can stay on the wing. That's fine by me. So slight changes to the offense just to try and spark a little bit of something amongst the forward group that, I mean, again, hasn't been terrible. But, you know, each team scored 3 goals over the last 3 games. And we know we're capable of a little bit more than that. At least I would hope so. So here we go. A crucial Game 5. Bowen Byram back in the lineup. We'll see what he can do. First period of Game 5. Oof. The advantage to New Jersey. 4-2. Luke Mittelstadt at the opening goal. Jack Hughes scores 2 in a row in 13 seconds. Young and Springus make it 4-1 before Svechnikov scores to stop the bleeding. A brutal start from Spencer Knight. It wasn't a great start from Blackwood. He has an .800 save percentage. A brutal start from Spencer Knight. We go to the second period where it is scoreless, which does not help us. And now we go to the third, and Slavin scores. Nightmare scenario. 53 seconds into the period, or 57 seconds into the period with 3 seconds left there. The opening minutes. And the Devils are going to have a chance to end this in Game 6. It was looking good, but they will take 2 games in a row. Hall makes it 6-2, and I get it. They have a high-powered offense, but I feel like Spencer Knight's turning back into a pumpkin here. He was looking like a Vezina candidate, and now he's looking like the Spencer Knight of old. Say what you want about the defense, but say what you want about the top line, but we need better from him. We really do. We will be facing elimination in this next game. Jake Bean is back to 100%, which is good to see, as Anaheim and Minnesota have punched their ticket to the Western Conference Final. Buffalo is awaiting the winner of this series as they swept the Maple Leafs. So on the defensive side of things, Ma will be out. I don't even know what I want to do here. Let's just go best lines. At this point, let's just go best lines. So it'll be Mittelstadt, Borgen, Bean, and Byram. And we'll reunite Riley and Hamilton. And then defensively, the only change, of course, is Brett Leeson has to come out for Nielsen. And then it has, I mean, as far as how this game sets it up, I think I'm okay with that. It has Peterson. Of course, McKinnon's still listed as a right wing. I mean, Robertson didn't necessarily help on that top line. Turcotte, was it? 5 goals. You know what? Let's just go with the best lines we can possibly put together and hope that it's enough. That'll be the team that we take into this next game. Knight's save percentage has dropped from a .952 to a .932. So obviously we need a little bit more, and we might as well send down Ma. And they also got Vahalati back from injury down in Charlotte, just to increase their chances of success, as DuPont's showing up as an 85 now. Let's see what happens. The season is on the line here on home ice. Can we force Game 7, or will the Devils move on to take on Buffalo in the Eastern Conference Final? Let's go. First period. That is a statement. My God, you could not have thought of a better start. This team, with their backs against the wall, they come out and do that. 5-0, 5 goals on 11 shots to begin this game. Morgan Riley, Alex Turcotte under 2 minutes later, Allen in just over a minute later to chase Mackenzie Blackwood within 7 minutes. And from there, Svechnikov and Nielsen 2 minutes apart. On Ullmark, it's 5-0 Hurricanes. Second period is scoreless. We go to the third, and unless we see the biggest collapse I have ever seen, as Taylor Hall scores, Svechnikov gets it back, though, unless we see a power play goal from Robertson to make it 7, unless we see the biggest collapse I've ever seen in a sports game, we are moving on. Unbelievable. Turcotte scores again to make it 8, and we will see you back in New Jersey for Game 7. No drama down the stretch. Just, okay, first period of Game 6, we need to win. 5 goals. Game over. 8-1 is your final. We outshot them 41-32. An unreal performance from Turcotte and Robertson in particular, and Spencer Knight as well. Does what Spencer Knight can do. It's just what version of Spencer Knight shows up. Jake Bean, an immediate impact upon re-entry into the lineup. And you see the goals there. I mean, you see the points there. Only 5 players went pointless in that game. 3 of them defensemen. Insane. Absolutely insane. And that sets the stage for a Game 7 showdown. New Jersey and Carolina. The winner will play the Buffalo Sabres in the Eastern Conference Final. Our team will remain the same. Let's do this. Here we go. First period of this so important Game 7. Can the Hurricanes get back to the conference final? First period, 3-0 Carolina. A dream start in a road playoff Game 7. Nathan MacKinnon, Allen on the fourth line, and Trevor Zegras. It's 3-0, 16 shots to 11. And unless we absolutely blow this, we're going back to the conference final. MacKinnon finally shows up. Second period, good God. New Jersey tied it. Within 8 minutes, the Devils tied it to start the second period. Boqvist, Palmieri, and Santini, but Nielsen on the fourth line restored the lead. It's 4-3 as we head to the third period. A nightmare scenario. And an unbelievable comeback from the Devils. I said, unless we absolutely choked it, well, guess what we did? It's a 1-goal lead heading into the final 20 minutes of play. Will there be an early goal to add another twist to the tale? We get through 5 minutes. New Jersey, though, on the power play. An extended power play, and they capitalize. Damon Severson, Kara scores a minute later. New Jersey has the lead. Dylan Peterson ties it on the power play. My God. It is 5-all heading down the stretch of this Game 7. Absolutely ridiculous. Just pure insanity. We'll go into the sim and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to change anything with the sliders, so there might be penalties, there might be fights, there might be craziness, but you know what I say? Let there be craziness. This is it. This is it. Who will go to the Eastern Conference Final? We've been there once before. We want to get back there again. We had a 3-0 series lead. It evaporated. It's 5-all. Here we go. 4:33 remaining in regulation as we win the draw. Fourth line's out. No offsides, remember. So here's Jake Bean. No offsides and no icings. Middlestat drops it. Allen battling for it. Can he come up with it? He does, and it gets on net. Blackwood makes the save. Bean battling for it. Expect penalties. No icings. No offsides. As New Jersey recovers. Here's Joey Anderson. Now Tamora. Young can't find his man. Allen gets it up to Tulipoff. Now back again for the fourth line. Here's Allen and steps in, and a glove save by Blackwood. I should have gone coach mode so I could change the lines and skip replays. But you know what? I'll allow it. It is what it is. 3:58 remaining. Might have jumped in a little bit too early, but damn it, you never know. There could have been another goal. We will see this through as New Jersey wins the defensive zone draw. Slavin up to Hall. A dangerous top line out for the Devils. Here's Taylor Hall again, looking to step in. Can't get the shot off. It's Whitfield, top line v top line. Taylor Hall for point! Stopped by Spencer Knight on the goal line. Number 37 got a piece of it. I don't know if that's Svechnikov or who that was, but he helped Spencer Knight get a leg on it. And a close call for the Canes. Huge face-off here. McKinnon wins it. Svechnikov to Whitfield. It was Svechnikov who made that last play. Here's Whitfield stepping into the slot, loses it. There's a trip on Hall. The Devils will go to the power play. Here's Hughes for New Jersey. Finds Braden Point. Hischer at the point. Slap shot denied by Knight. One-timer denied by Knight as well. Hischer recovers. Point, one-timer and a broken stick. We said there'd be penalties, but unfortunately it's the Devils who will benefit. Whitfield goes to the box for tripping Taylor Hall. And it's a massive, massive opportunity for the Devils to win this game. Roche and Turcotte out against Hischer, Hughes, and Hall. Their sixth power play of the game. Devils win the draw. Loose puck, though. Hughes battles and gets it to the point. Tamora slap shot goes wide. Poked aside by Knight. Middlestat recovers. And he will send it down. 3 minutes left in regulation of Game 7. Nico Hischer. Over to Taylor Hall. He carries it in. Back for Hischer. Would have been offsides normally, but they have that extra freedom. Will Butcher's shot is broken up in front. Middlestat off the glass is able to clear. 30 seconds gone in the New Jersey power play. Butcher has trouble. Roche on the forecheck. Recovers the puck, gets it back to the point. Middlestat having trouble, is stripped of the puck by Hughes. Jack Hughes looking, finds Hischer. The shot broken up. Now a battle in the corner. To Knight's left. Still battling. Time ticking away. Around the back of the Hurricanes' goal. Middlestat recovers but can't clear. Now it's Nielsen. He finds Middlestat up to Theo Roche. 55 seconds left on the New Jersey power play as it's dumped into the Devils zone. Taylor Hall still out there. Windmill, backhand on that rebound. Chance is denied. Hughes on the doorstep. Butcher shot, deflection bid. Does not go through. A huge set of saves from Knight as the Devils have just 35 seconds left on their power play. Puck around the backboards. But Allen's there, still fighting. Tries to throw one on, that's intercepted by Butcher. Allen pokes it free again. Hits Nico Hischer. Giving the Devils trouble is Allen. Battling. Hischer recovers. Allen's still there. Hischer finds Young. 15 seconds left. Here's Nico Hischer, the shot. Save by Knight. Puck finds its way to Theo Roche. Now Alex Turcotte one-on-one. Turcotte stepping in the shot and just gloved down by Blackwood. 1:18 remaining in regulation with 3 seconds left on the New Jersey power play. Some big saves by Spencer Knight. A big hit there on Theo Roche, fresh out of the bench. Take the hit to make the play, though, as we had the chance from Turcotte. Allen and Nielsen are out. A tired PK in line against Brat, Point, and Young. Can Nielsen win the draw? He can. Finds Byram, now Riley. Back again. Bad pass. The Devils recover the puck. Here's Jesper Bratt. Finds Young. Severson now. Back to Young. Down low pass in front's broken up. Whitfield will recover. He finds Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley looking. Toe drag. Riley still looking the shot. Rebound. Chance from Peterson. Swiped out by Blackwood as Slavin recovers. 50 seconds left in regulation. We're tied at 5. The Hurricanes blew a 3-0 lead in this game. Brought battling on the half wall. Dylan Peterson recovers. He finds Essa Alto. Back to Riley. Tried to go in front. Slavin recovers. Alto picks it off. Zegras in front for Peterson. He couldn't pull the trigger. And Zegras recovers. Finds Alto. Dougie Hamilton tries to bring it down low. Is bumped off by former teammate Slavin, who starts the rush. Here comes Slavin. We'll send it down low. Recovered by the Devils. It's Joey Anderson. Back to the point for Severson now. Anderson again. Finds Young. Springus. Severson. Slavin. Broken up. Springus. Anderson to the point for Severson. A glove save by Knight with 1.3 seconds left. And unless there's a little bit of LA Kings magic with the time expiring, we are going to overtime. A hit post there from Peterson on the doorstep. The backhand swipe out from Blackwood saves the day. McKinnon against Hischier. And we are going to overtime of Game 7 in the second round here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Will be viewed as a victory for the Devils to have come back. They had a chance to win, though, here in this third period, but it was a goal midway through. You want to say late, because really it was. And that sees us go to overtime. The big glove save by Knight there at the end. The final score of this game will be 6-5 in overtime. It's just a matter of who will get it. Again, the differences in this game. No offsides. No icings. We've already seen the effects of the no offsides. It certainly changes the way the offense plays out. But penalties are most certainly going to be a factor as McKinnon wins the draw. Top line v top line. Svechnikov battling point. So we got to scramble for it. Hall comes up with it. Here's Jack Hughes. Over the blue line. Tries to deke Dougie Hamilton. Gets it back. Save by Knight. Hamilton did well. Only for Hughes to recover. A huge save there by Spencer Knight up against his own post. Although it looked like it went far side. And the advantage to the Devils' top line thus far. The Canes come up with it. Svechnikov tried to drop pass to Riley. They end up recovering. Here's Nathan McKinnon. A little bit of dump and chase from the top line. Slavin has trouble. Chance from Whitfield. Shoots it wide of the post. Hamilton from McKinnon. Now Whitfield again. Nathan McKinnon brings it down low. Behind the net. Toward the zone from McKinnon. Riley sends it back down. McKinnon still fighting for it. Tries to find Svechnikov in front. It's intercepted. Here comes Braden Point for the Devils. Point. Backdoor for Hughes. And if it was going to be anybody, it was going to be him. Jack Hughes wins it for the Devils. They will move on to play the Sabres in the third round. And for the Hurricanes, it's dejection. So close yet so far. An 8-1 victory in Game 6. A 3-0 lead after 20 minutes in Game 1, or in the first period of Game 7, and it all goes to waste. Jack Hughes and the New Jersey Devils survive this threat. They survive this challenge. Point, the backhand dish to Hughes. He snipes it past Spencer Knight, and the Devils move on. Another heartbreaking loss for the Carolina Hurricanes as a 3-0 lead evaporates. And that brings us into an off-season where we don't quite know what lies ahead. Obviously, we have some players in the system who are going to be making a push for a roster spot. Players are certainly going to be on the way out. I mean, you'd imagine goaltending-wise, it's still going to be Spencer Knight. Defensively, might see some change if Middlestat and Owen Power improve. Dougie Hamilton's deal is up. Jake Bean's deal is up. And in the system with guys like Vahalati and Ma, you don't quite know what changes you might see there. And then forward-wise is where the real change is going to come from. Still a lot of room for improvement, and then you look in the system with Berard, DuPont, Gougnot, Bradley, Smith, Pedersen, Ray, Adamski, Dreger. I mean, the list of talent that could make the jump to the NHL level is extensive. So it really sucks to see this team fall short, especially after a 3-0 lead. I mean, Nathan MacKinnon, for all the slack, that we've given him, and justifiably so, he at least had 11 points in 11 games. Robertson showed up as well. It's tough to say, some people didn't show up. I suppose a little bit more offense from the likes of Whitfield, Zigra, would have been nice. We also have to decide what the future is of S. Alto and whether or not you guys think he'd want to re-sign, since we did not necessarily have that goal for the season. But no doubt the injuries on the back end affected this team, and Spencer Knight, just a bit too many flashes of who I'd like to think is the old Spencer Knight. There just wasn't enough from him, unfortunately, as the Checkers have a 3-2 lead on the Hartford Wolfpack. But we'll see what happens with them. There might be a Calder Cup in their future. Of course, we've seen success with the Checkers already in this series. But for now, we will end things as this sets the stage for what will be a very interesting offseason, an offseason full of change. There's no doubt about it. Maybe we let Dougie Hamilton walk and use our forward depth to go out and get a defenseman. I mean, there's going to be a lot that happens. And it's a little bit of a shame. You could argue this core wasn't good enough. But in a way, it's kind of a shame that at the very least that forward group and some of the other guys here, that it wasn't enough to get the job done. So I thank you guys very much for watching and supporting this series. Of course, if you are new to the channel, because, thanks to 2K10, we've had a little bit of a resurgence as of late. If you're new to the channel, hey, I got a back catalog of 4.5 years worth of stuff to check out. And I appreciate you sticking around. For those of you, of course, who have been supporting this series the whole way, I love you. I want to say even more. I'll catch you guys next time. Until then, have a good one. Take it easy, and I will see you then.